My name is Maria Valle. I'm 17. I'm in 12th grade, and I live with my parents and three brothers. I probably started sports when I was probably 5 or 6, really young. Soccer and cross country skiing and sailing. With my family, we do a lot of sailing and hunting too. And then prior to my injury, I did a lot of running and Nordic skiing.
Maria Valle is wearing bib number 52 on the right side of the screen for Houghton at the UP Cross Country Finals in October of 2018 at Munising. She finished 5th in the race as a freshman behind Negaunee Emily Papour and Houghton's Annabelle Needham. But a year later, life took a dramatic turn for Valle.
Injury was on October 2nd of 2019. I started the day off normal, went to school, and then I felt weakness in my arms, and then we went to the emergency room, and by the end of the day I was quadriplegic, and then we flew from Houghton, Michigan to Ann Arbor, and then I stayed there for a month and a half. My injury was transverse myelitis, which is just inflammation of the spinal cord, and for me they found no reason for it.
In the ICU, I couldn't move either of my hands very much or my legs at all, and I could barely, and then I couldn't move my lower body whatsoever. During all this, I felt like I wasn't freaking out as much as I should have been. Like the doctor said, I seemed pretty calm and had a good attitude, and I thought it was, I don't know, I felt pretty okay with it, and then I think the environment helped a lot. I got to go outside a lot, so it wasn't that bad, and then the doctors were very nice.
I stayed in the Children's Hospital at U of M, and it was a really great hospital with lots of great people. I got to try like a wheelchair basketball, and I still got to do school there. I miss my friends because it's 9 hours away from my house, so only my parents could come, but the people there were great and the doctors were really good. When I arrived at the hospital, I could barely move my right arm and pretty much none of my lower body. And then by the time I left, I could move my right and left arm, and my left hand was a little weak, and I could wiggle parts of my lower body like my toes and my ankles.
You're outrunning me.
'Cause I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down on my last breath, even when they say there's nothing left, so don't give up on. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not me.
I returned to school in mid-November, and I think I went to school the day after I came back from the hospital. It was a lot different, but I really miss my friends, and they helped to kind of integrate me back into the school. And there's a lot of helpful people here, so it was a relatively smooth transition. I think I tried a sit ski like 2 weeks after I came home, and then I started sit skiing that winter. And then I think COVID shut everything down, so I just did sit skiing for a while. Well, before I was on a pretty high level of competition and going to national competitions across the country. And for sit skiing, I was just starting out, so I could barely do a whole race, but there were still opportunities, and I was still on my team, so it was still really great.
Hi, so how'd it go today?
I went really well. I dropped 2 minutes off of my time from state in the 2K, so I'm pretty happy about that. It was a good course, but the time I'm really happy with.
And Maria, how did first weekend of racing in Sitski go for you?
It was really fun. It was a very new experience, so still getting used to it, but it was a great course.
What was the most challenging for you?
Probably turning on downhills.
That's something to work on.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Get set, go! Get on the inside, get on the inside of the marker, you can beat her.
I feel like new sunglasses, like a brand new pair of jeans. I feel like taking chances. I feel a lot like 17. I feel like windows roll down new city streets and cars. I feel like anything can happen. Life if you take
I've always been into sports, and so being a part of the team is really like part of my identity. So, and competition is really important to me. I did cross country my junior year on a hand bike, and there I was on the team, but I couldn't earn points or anything. And then I did track that same year in the racing chair. During my first year participating in cross country, I didn't get times at the races, and I also didn't get a letter, which is something that I've gotten times this year, and I'd also like to get a varsity letter. The hand bike in itself is really hard to operate, so I had to lower the distances from 5K to 3K, and then I also have to have someone biking with me in case something happens, like my chain falling off. And we still haven't figured out a way to get points for that. It's a little more complicated than track, but just racing is enough for cross country. For track, I could participate as a part of the team, and we reached a regional agreement where if I pass the qualifying times for junior nationals, then I could get a point. But I couldn't go further than regional meets, and I couldn't qualify for UP finals.
Come on, Masha, push it. Push, 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 push.
Valet's desire for sports hasn't slowed. She's been able to get help and borrow a racing chair from the Great Lakes Adaptive Sports Association. Valet is now learning how to take part in the 100-meter and 400-meter dashes. One goal Valet has is to help the Gremlins score a point in a track and field meet.
Michigan is one of only a couple states that doesn't have standards for adaptive athletes to score. We're working on a proposal where if you pass a certain time in a meet, then you can score a point for your team in order to really be a part of it.
Being part of the team is really an important part of high school sports, and scoring points really helps you feel like a part of it. Also, it's important to be treated as an equal athlete, and also for upper level races, my times can count as qualifying times for junior nationals if they're more official, so I won't have to travel to other states to qualify. In my racing chair for track, I went to races in Milwaukee, Indiana, and Denver, and I raced with GLASA, the Great Lakes Sports Association, and they helped me how to use my chair and let me borrow some, and they're also very helpful at competitions, and they're great coaches. On the GLASA team, we're all adaptive athletes, so it's a closer community, I would say, because everyone's kind of in the same situation. And also at the meets, they're adaptive meets, so you automatically get points and qualify for that. So it's not something you have to fight for because it's already there.
Go, 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 push it, push it, push it.
Can you feel it? It's coming. Bridge this gap.
For my senior year, I hope to get a letter in cross country, and then for track to have my points counted for all the meets and be able to qualify for UP finals. To be able to qualify for UP finals and possibly earn points there, and then also to get standards across the state, so each adaptive athlete doesn't have to fight their own fight, and it's just already a standard. Go to college probably on the East Coast, and possibly go into the medical field and do sports in college. My biggest adaptive competition I went to was Junior Nationals in Denver, and I won gold in the 100 and 200 and silver in the 800 and a 1500 and a relay. And at Junior Nationals, it was a really great experience meeting adaptive athletes from all over the country. And for Junior Nationals, I was able to compete there with pretty little difficulty and win gold, but in my own state, I have to fight just to be able to be on the team. Like where?
Look
In the
right,
middle?
look right at me.
Okay, wait.
I'm gonna make you laugh.
This is hard, okay.
So it's here.
I'm an athlete too.
It's a broken man, but I found my friend. Now I'm falling down through the crashing sound, and you come around. And you rush to me, and it's